It's school shopping time, and this is Steph's middle school souffle. I'm a middle school teacher. I have been. I'm going on my 20th year of middle school teaching, and I'm also a middle school mom. So, welcome to my show. This episode is about school shopping for supplies in middle school. We are on Series 3, Summer and Fall Preparation. If you're interested in some of my episodes, go on back and see them. YouTube channel, Steph's Middle School Souffle. But right now we're on this one, Episode 4, School Shopping for Supplies. I'll give you the in and out and some advice when you're shopping for middle schoolers. I do want to say this, though. If you can buy them a phone or the most fashionable clothes, you can buy them school supplies. Okay, I'm going to say that again. If you can buy them a phone or the most fashionable clothes, you can buy them school supplies too. You should invest in those first before the others. Invest in tools that help with their learning. All right, 2 major skills go on in middle school. Comparatively to elementary school, this is the time that they start learning how to organize by themselves. They have more classes, they have more teachers, they have a lot more friends, more freedom walking in the hallways. It's the time to learn how to organize. And time management. Those 2 skills are the name of the game in middle school. They learn organization and time management. So how do they do this? First of all, parents, we need you to start looking at your school website. Get the supply list. This is my son's. So this upcoming week or two, my husband or I will start going through this list. And it's a very simple list, and I like this. A planner was number 1 on their list. If this is something your student would use, yeah, I'm going to be getting a planner. My son will be doing his planner at home and going through our steps and our routine. Routine is key. They need routine, they need safety, and they need structure at this age. And they need leaders in their parents and their teachers. So get one for home. Get a planner. I promise you this is the best purchase in their middle school career. A backpack. I'm going to go through this. So this is their list. I'm going to give you more advice other than maybe what you see on this list that I think all middle schoolers should have. And it doesn't have to do with technology. Okay, so these are supplies that we still use at school, even though after COVID we have our Chromebooks, we have tech, we know how to do distance learning. These are supplies we still use. So here's Steph's top 10 school supplies for middle schoolers. Number 1, a planner. Make it a routine. The purpose of the planner is to learn how to manage time and activities. Your child is learning how to do this. So you go maybe a week or 2 ahead. What do we have going on this evening? What did you learn today? Let's go through each of your classes. When they get home from school, they should write down in their planner what they learned if they didn't do it at school. Okay, and the purpose is to remember their activities and schoolwork and to plan ahead. These are life skills they're learning using a planner. At home, use the planner to reflect on their learning at home and to communicate with each other. The planner gives you dialogue. It gives you a conversation. It gives you a good starting spot to form some family bonding over learning and to create weekly goals and a checklist. So that's my number 1. Number 1 is the planner. Please invest in a planner. Number 2, a good and practical backpack. A practical backpack. I had these 8th grade girls carrying around these little cute little persons say, I don't need a backpack. I just have this. I'm like, no, you need a backpack. You have a lot of supplies to carry around. And don't let your 8th grade kids tell you they don't need a backpack because they're trying to look cool. Do not buy that. They all need a backpack. Your parental expectation should be that they need a backpack. They take it to school and they take it back every day. Okay, again, 8th graders are going to lie to you about this. They're going to say, I don't need one. They need one. Make sure it can fit a binder and a Chromebook. And they're also in that backpack should be a place like with a little extra padding for technology with your Chromebook. You want a sturdy backpack. I wouldn't go cheap on this one. A sturdy backpack. Your child should write their name in it somewhere, because in junior high and middle school, kids lose a lot of supplies. They even lose their backpacks often. Okay, even your A+ advanced learner, smarty farty kids, they lose things, and a backpack is one of them. So you're going to want to have their name on the inside somewhere, and make sure it fits a pencil container too, which leads me to my next one. So again, you need a good and practical backpack. 3, a pencil pouch or a container with a billion pencils and pens. And I say a billion, not literally, but a lot, because they lose them all the time. And a lot of times it's not intentional. They're writing and they're doing their work, and then all of a sudden they're over here and they're having a group discussion or whatever, and then they forget their pencils and pens often. Okay, I pick up so many pencil and pens left around in my room at the end of the day. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe how many pencils and pens are left in my room. So here's also a pet peeve of mine. They have phones, which I do not approve of personally at this age, but they don't have pencils or pens. And I put, what the fudge? Okay. So you have these electronic supplies that cost hundreds of dollars, but you don't have a pencil. Please, please, parents, have the expectation that they have a pencil pouch in their bag with a pencil container and has a lot of pencils and writing utensils. We still use writing utensils in middle schoolers. We don't just use the computer. Number 4, a few pencil sharpeners, the little ones, and then buy more pencils. Because these little pencil sharpeners have come in handy, because a lot of times my electrical pencil sharpeners, they break. And the ones that we used in school when we were a kid, those metal ones, they break also. Okay, and they just get beat on through the year. And then we don't have a sharpener, and then they are like, well, I don't have a sharpened pencil, so I can't write. No, they should have one of these. If your school supply list says doesn't have this pencil sharpener, get one. They're cheap. Number 5, in middle school, we do a lot of highlighting. Students are learning how to highlight text and pick out the important pieces of information. We annotate text, we mark the text a lot, and we still use paper in school. Not as much as when you and I grew up, but we still use it. Not as much as pre-COVID. Again, we still use paper though. It's also good for planners. You highlight upcoming projects and tests and homework and the important things, maybe with the pink highlighter, and the yellow one is for another one. It's a visual. Get them some highlighters. Number 6, get them a simple pack of markered or colored pencils. Even if it's not on your school supply list, put that in their bag. We still use art in a lot of our core classes. We do comics, we draw, even in our core classes of ELA, science, social studies, and math. Advice. So throughout the years in elementary school, my kids have just built up a ton of markers and colored pencils in my house that don't get used very much. You can recycle. We can keep using them. Here's a bag. Take them in this little baggie. Okay, that's some advice. Again, it doesn't have to be a grand, huge amount of different colored sets of markers, just a simple set. Number 7, I highly recommend this. It's a great, fantastic idea. A homework folder. And it should stand out from the others. So, have it as an obnoxious folder. The more obnoxious, the better, because it'll attract the eye in their backpack. Oh, here's my homework folder. Okay, and then I look at it every night to see if I had homework. So you get homework from the teacher if it's a paper copy or an article. Put it in the homework folder. Put it in the backpack. Routine is you check your backpack at home at night. Get that homework folder out and you check it. All middle schoolers benefit from this idea. It's very effective. In 7th and 8th grade, they will get more and more homework. Possibly, I don't know what your school stance is on homework, but even permission slips. Take home stuff to your parents. We do that quite a bit. Field trip slips. This is the place to do it. An obnoxious homework folder. This one's better. I know it's strange looking than this one. This one pops out to me more. All right. Number 8, hygiene products to put in the backpack, just in case. This is prime self-conscious time, especially in 8th grade. they're nervous about what other people think about them, and it's puberty. Okay, so travel size deodorant, I get my son and I put it in his backpack. Teach them to put it on in the morning and not after gym class. That's a big mistake. Mints. Middle schoolers are very self-conscious, especially in 8th grade. If your school allows gum, fine, go with gum. But fresh breath is very important. For our girls, pads and tampons and an extra pair of underwear for girls, especially in 8th grade. I'm already starting to do that. My daughter's going through 5th grade. I take a little baggie and I put a pad in there, extra underwear, and I put it in like a secret place in her backpack just in case. She hasn't started yet, and we have these conversations also. But as an 8th grade teacher, I get a lot of, hey, Miss Helmer, do you have pads up here? Do you have tampons? Can I go to the bathroom? And I always, as a teacher, have pads and tampons in my room. Even our male teachers have these because we're very aware that this is happening at this age. So you could, an extra set of underwear or, yeah, I would put a little area in their bag for that, especially our girls. Sanitizer, chapstick. Oh, I get a lot of, do you have chapstick? Do you have Vaseline? I need to go to the nurse for Vaseline for my lips. Bring some chapstick. A water bottle. And I put masks on here. You never know, okay? Some of our schools have different stances, but I think it's an important thing to bring masks to school still. Number 9, your locker, okay? So junior high is the time where you're exploring your identity a little bit. Mirror in the locker, hair binds. I get that a lot. Do you have an extra hair bind, Miss Helmer? Bring a brush. So this is a great locker set I gave my son, and he really liked it. He put his pens and pencils in here. Also, that's a magnetic cup for pencil and pens. Mirror, hair binds, or brush or comb. Pictures they want to hang up. Another thing, I need you to practice how to use a locker with your child, or I don't know. This is just a really good skill to be able to manage. That's like their little home is their locker. And I couldn't believe how many students didn't know how to use a lock in the past, like even before COVID. Okay, they're just really scared to use that lock. So they just leave it wide open and wouldn't use it. It's quite terrifying to learn if you're first doing that. But yeah, so how to use a locker, when to use the locker, and how to use a lock is very important skills to learn in middle school. Next one and last one, math. Okay, so I'm going to give a shout out to my math teachers. Please read the supply list. Some math teachers are very specific with the type of calculator they would like the students to have. Some math teachers say we will supply the calculators. But please, please, please take a look at your supply list. And I would just invest in a calculator regardless. So I know my son pointed out on his list, it's this one. Texas Instruments, a TI or T130X. Don't hate me, math teachers. But a calculator at this age, they start going through their differentiated math classes a lot more, and they need a specific calculator a lot of times. So take a look at that supply list. Anything random? I would say the big pencil erasers are good to have, just a few in their pencil pouch, in their backpack. Post-its are always good to buy, and a couple glue sticks. If it's not on your school supply list, just get a couple of these. So these are the basics. If you are a parent that can afford to make donations and you like to help teachers out, here are the basics we love. We love like wipes. Like we've had to wipe down our own stuff a lot. Band-Aids, tape. A lot of middle schoolers ask for Band-Aids. Band-Aids, do you have Band-Aid? Do you have Band-Aid? You don't know how many paper cuts these students get. They get a ton of paper cuts and always need Band-Aids. Tape is good for teachers. We always need tape. Kleenexes, oh yes, colored markers, colored pencils, and just pencils. Pencils, pencils, pencils. So, if you like what I said, take and use whatever you need. You can subscribe to Steph's Middle School Souffle. You can share it with others. You can just talk about it with friends or family members. But that's my top 10 list for now about what to get. But get that planner and a sturdy backpack. Bye.